Okay, make sure everything was unmuted before I said anything. Welcome, everyone, to episode 2 of the G1 Gamedays podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Chase, and below me we have Mr. Fat Man.
Hello.
And with an icon on the side, Jimbo Socks.
So I looked up, even though I don't have a webcam, I still looked up like I'm looking at Johnny.
Hi! Hey, it's me! Hey, it's you!
Hey,
it's you!
It's that Brady Bunch thing.
Hey, is that me? It's that boy. It's that
Hey,
boy.
Speaking of that, wasn't that what Colt Cabana did, like his first night on SmackDown as Scotty Goldman? They did a picture-in-picture.
So.
He's just like, hey, it's Scotty Goldman! Hey, that's me! Wait a minute. How
And
did
they
you fire him?
That gimmick never was going to work.
All right, and he's a minute. Gentlemen, how are we this evening?
I am well. How about yourself?
Well, just the fact that we had a massive storm yesterday. Did not get as much snow as we anticipated, but we got a shit ton of rain, which froze overnight. So it's about a good 2 inches of ice on our driveway. My wife had to get out for work and ended up breaking our garage door. So we had to manually release it to pull it up to, well, actually she had to call in to work for a couple hours and be like, yeah, I can't make it. She's like, oh, why don't you call a cab? And it's like, we tried. There's no one answering. So yeah, that was an adventure. Had to call my father-in-law, bring a spade and an ice pick to pick away the ice. Because hot water wasn't doing anything. Salt wasn't doing anything. So, and now I can't latch the garage door back to the motor. So I gotta get him to come back out to look at that or call a professional. But yeah, there's that.
I've got to get to work now.
well, yeah. I mean,
I just imagine you there like in Minecraft, just picking away at the ice. Ting, 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 ting. It's not breaking. Why is it not breaking?
no.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that was my night, or my morning, I should say. Yeah, my night was pretty chill though. Well, I guess we'll.
How about you, Jimbo?
Here. Oh, yeah. Sorry,
Oh,
Jimbo.
my bad. I wasn't trying to interrupt. I was waiting. I'm like, is he saying anything else? Okay, Jimbo.
No, I was just gonna chime in. I think I had Johnny. I had what you got as well. We were projected for like, and this is why I love meteorologists. We were projected for 4 to 8 inches of snow here in Pittsburgh with that storm. 8 to 12 at the beginning of the week, and I slowly watched as the number went down and down and down until it was basically rain with some snow early Sunday morning, which would then all freeze to ice. And I'm like, man, job, because I would love to be wrong 87% of the time to then still be employed.
Yeah.
But I have the utmost respect for them. But geez, man, that watching the numbers go down and they're like, we're sorry. It's like, and I saw this somewhere on social media. It was like the grocery stores call the meteorologist and say, okay, we're overstocked with milk, toilet paper, and bread. Please start making people think that it's going to pour down snow so they come to our store and buy all this.
Someone made an image for me on Facebook of like usually like meteorologists will have like a green zone, a yellow zone, and a red zone for the amount of snowfall or rain. But this guy it's like, all right, for this zone, you're going to need about 2 to 3 bags of storm chips and a 12-pack. This region, you're going to need about 6 to 8 and a 24-pack. Like this one, this is where you break out the hard stuff. You know, get a couple bottles of wine, you know, some Jacks, some Jägermeisters, and yeah, go to town.
Oh man, it must be bad if he's calling out for the Jaeger. Oof.
Oh, it was so bad actually. The city about 2 hours away from me, there's footage of people ice skating on the streets. Like literally, like there's that much rain and it froze over that much that people were putting on their hockey skates and skating down up and down the hill. I think one guy went through a Tim Hortons and got a double on his skates.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's the creative person. That's like folks when it rains heavy in certain areas of the country here, they'll get their boats out, they'll go swimming in the water that is all over the ground.
Yeah.
And
that's bull that's come from the streets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the people are just like, do not swim in this water. It's filled with bacteria and poison, and you will die and you will get sick from this.
Strengthens the immune system. It was an old George Carlin bit. It strengthened the immune system.
No. What? My stomach's actually churning now.
Oh, Jesus.
I think I gagged a little bit there as well.
All right, so this is normally the part of the podcast. So I remind all of our live viewers, we do have chat open, but we won't be reading it unless there is a technical difficulty and you shout in caps at us. Please make sure it's a real one. Don't make me go like, oh wait, I'm muted, and like, no. And now let's have the portion where we talk about our weeks. What did we do this week? Jimbo, I'll start off with you. What was your week like?
Well, it's still kind of unpacking and getting back to normal life post MagFest. Because I'm lazy sometimes and I didn't unpack everything right away. Like I had to put the Switch back and a few other things back where they belong. It was mostly that work, jumping into the Minecraft realm, which our official G1 Gamedays Minecraft realm, checking out what some folks who have recently joined in the fun have created, such as Vinny, aka Big Boss and Moss, and Woody making his upteenth house at this point. Times there are times I go in the realm and I look at my stone house. I'm like, yeah, that's a good house. You know, I've got the enchantment table upstairs. I'm starting to build the big map to try to encapsulate the whole thing. And then I go look at like Woody's house. I'm like, man, I am doing something. I am not doing enough. Because even just simple things as the path to his house, or just, you know, like he's made, I think officially he's at 5 or 6 at this point houses. And then there's Vinny, who's joined the realm like a month ago, and he's already got, he was the first one to fully survive coming back from the Nether and not getting, you know, destroyed or from it. Some of us have, you know, as Johnny can attest to, have made the to try to come back with supplies and found the Nether Fortress and stuff. But Vinny is the first one to officially mark it out. And I went in after the game day. I think it was this past week. I went in and looked, and oh man, there's a nice clear path. You go into the portal in the middle of OG Game Day Town. There's a path to the fortress. It's real simple. You can go in and find stuff. You can go start. We can start really doing things now.
Nice.
And
because we're gonna need a lot of blaze rods and a lot of ender pearls to find the portal.
Yep. That's really been about it besides work. And oh wait, no, I also saw Dragon Ball Super Broly in theaters last week, which was, for those in the chat or for those out there listening to this or watching it, if you are a fan of any type of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Kai, Super, whatever, and I would recommend going to see it. If it's still in theaters for you locally, give it a try. If you're waiting till it comes out on Blu-ray or DVD, that works too. It was an amazing movie. Animation was great. The story was great. Obviously, you know, they retconned a couple of things that came to like Bardock and Broly and stuff, but it is worth it to see. I give it like a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Dang. That's pretty awesome.
It was really good. Like in the fights, you feel every punch. You know, I went in with good expectations, but it was surprisingly above what I expected.
Yeah, we were contemplating seeing that on Saturday as one of her movies, but we had like this big thing we did on. We had a big day on Saturday, and just by the end, we didn't really feel like going out to a movie. But like, I imagine it was going to be really good because we went to the theaters to see Resurrection of F. And that was a good time.
That was a good movie. I love that.
There's a bit of fan service, but I definitely enjoyed that.
Now, question being, as someone who has not seen Super yet, because I was waiting for the official release to have everything on Blu-ray before I start binging it, because I refuse to watch it on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim or Toonami or whoever had the rights, because they censor the hell out of it, and I just prefer it. I prefer it in its raw form with the Funimation dub. So, do I need to have any prior knowledge of anything in Super, like any like that multiverse tournament or whatever Jiren or whatever? Nothing.
Well, before you say anything, I haven't seen it yet. No spoilers.
Yeah. So I'll try to say this. I'll say this. It's so. It picks. So the first. Let me ask you, Fafaman, have you seen Resurrection F or Battle of Gods or the
I know the story for Battle of the Gods, and I have seen Resurrection F, so the
Okay.
both are fine.
So the beginning of Super is those two movies.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And then after Resurrection F is where like the story and where where arcs really start to take form. You don't really need any like any knowledge of anything. You don't need to do any research for it. Just picks up. This obviously the story picks up after the Boo saga from Z, and it just kind of it's like an easy way to guide people and be like, oh yeah, I remember when that happened and such, and I remember those things. And then after it really picks up and it goes from there.
Okay. So we've
That's
got Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta, and Goku. No Ultra Instinct. I think Ultra Instinct's like right near the end of of Super.
The end of this past run of Super, and man, it takes. I'll just say this: it takes for fucking ever to get to that point. Whew.
So like, it's a typical
For
Dragon
someone
Ball
to throw the
series.
first punch in the Frieza fight, it took that long. For someone to throw the first punch in a Frieza fight, it took that long.
Oh, it took longer. I feel as someone who watched week to week and like with like the occasional holiday break and stuff like that in between, it felt like a year of them building to that.
Jesus.
It's. I'll say this: I look forward to the dub, but the payoff to when all that stuff goes down is amazing. But I'll leave it at that because I don't want to spoil everything.
Awesome. I guess I'll go through my week. Other than work, on my own personal channel, I decided we finally finished off Kingdom Hearts 2.5. Well, just 2. Didn't play the other ones there. Thank you. Do you curtsy? Yeah, so like I was like going through, it's like I was looking on how long to beat for the main story, and it was like 30 hours. I was like, Jesus Christ, like I'm not gonna be able to finish this before 3 comes out, because 3's coming out not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. And I was like, I need a palate cleanse, because if I finish 2 and I go straight into 3, I'm gonna hate Kingdom Hearts by the end of this. So and I don't play it when my wife's not available, because she wanted to experience it again and watch everything and comment and all that good stuff. So Saturday, we're like, all right, we're going to smash this all through. We're going to finish this. Took us about 8 hours to finish the last little bit of the story. But yeah, I'm glad to have played it again and finished it. And we're all ready for 3. I've got it pre-ordered for the PS4. Gonna go pick it up on day 1 and start playing the hell out of that. But like everyone in my chat was like, "Oh, it's Birth by Sleep. You can get through that." I'm like, no. For anyone out there who wants to consume and try to vaguely understand what the fuck is going on in this series, go look into Game Trailers, their YouTube channel before their demise. There is a video there that Brandon Jones of Easy Allies now, he was a narrator for a lot of Game Trailers videos. They have a video called Timeline, where they at first go through the series in release order. Then they rearrange it to say, okay, here's how the story is told. And then here's the key things you need to know to understand everything. So, like, the Keyblade Wars, who Xehanort is, who Ansem is, why Sora can do this, why Riku can do this, and so on and so forth. And then I got really kind of sad, because at the end, it's like, hey, 2013, they just announced the teaser for Kingdom Hearts 3. And I'm like, it's been 6 years since they announced it.
Yeah,
Really?
cut to the woman from the Titanic. It's been 84 years.
I'm like, Jesus. But yeah, we watched that. It's about an hour long, so clear off a little bit of your schedule. But it's so well produced, so well done, and it's unfortunate. Like, I was thinking back to like how good game trailers used to be. And then they made too many changes, and it became a shell of its former self until its inevitable demise.
Oh, like, man, we don't know.
I used to go to that site daily. Like, not even think about YouTube. Like, I go there and I'm like, all right, new Visible Walls is up. Oh, new Retrospective's up. New Screw Attack video's up there, because Screw Attack had a working relationship. They had a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So there was like a video game vault, a top 10, and an AVGN episode. And then they kind of started dialing it back a little bit. Well, I think James did, because he was starting to get burnt out of AVGN by then. Because he was doing one like every 2 weeks.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, that was basically it was Kingdom Hearts, and then Mr. Teal Wolf and I on Sunday finished up Gears of War Ultimate because he had never played any campaign of a Gears of War game. Like he's only played he's only played the online of 4, like for Gamedays. Whatever he's hosting or he jumps in or whenever Eric's streaming it, he'll jump in on that. He's never played a campaign, so he initially picked Fable 3 because for my channel I do a thing for my subs where I spin a wheel or draw a name out of a hat, and I'm like, all right, you get to pick a game and we'll either play something together or you pick something that you enjoy. And he usually picks Sierra games, but he wanted to play through Fable 3. I was like, okay, it's a co-op game, we can do that. Come to find out, he had the DLC, I didn't. We couldn't get in the same game. So I was like, okay, what else could we do? And I'm like flipping through Game Pass. I was like, oh, Gears of War. I mean, he's like, I've never played Gears of War, the campaign. I'm like, okay. I mean, if you want to do that, let's do that, right? So ended up doing that. Good time. I always enjoy the Gears of War franchise as far as like playing it cooperatively with friends. So
it is one of my favorites. I think I've single one, but I've played a ton of hours in the whole franchise. 2 was my favorite for the longest time until I joined this wonderful community and we played 4 a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you get moments like Claire screaming, "Are you real? Are you real?"
I tried to put time into that game's campaign, like just the first one. I played the original version, and there was this one glitch on like one of the first worlds you're on. You get trapped under a staircase, and anytime you try and load back, it puts you under the map. So I'm like, okay, remastered version's out years later. I'm like, okay, let's try this again. Bought the remastered version, started playing through, same glitch.
Really?
Jesus.
We didn't have any glitches.
I don't know what.
Well, no, that's a lie. We had moments where I could see something that Wolf couldn't. Like, he's just like, can you look at my stream for a second? I was like, yeah, sure, go on his mixer page. And they're like, you're going in and out of a fence, right? I'm like, no, there's no fence on mine. Okay.
No, I would just get stuck under stairs, man. Stairs are mean.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, that was my week pretty much. So, this Fat man, how was your week? What did you do?
Let's mainly work. One of the people on our 3-person operations team, got promoted to manager at another store. So now it's just me and my manager left to do everything operations wise in the warehouse.
Lovely.
So, yep, I am a part-time associate working full-time hours and going to school full-time.
Yay!
I won't sleep.
Just like me, except I don't have the school thing to do.
Hey, we do a lot and still maintain to be awesome.
Good news, I am applying for a IT job at the university I'm attending. So
Nice.
I may not have to worry about that longer.
That's good.
And I'll also have more time for streaming.
Yeah.
That's
the
good.
goal. That's the goal.
More money, more time.
Yeah. So besides the game day you did on Sunday, what else have you been playing besides Overwatch?
Really not too much of anything, honestly. I just really haven't had the time. I've been focusing a lot on school. I put maybe about an hour into this. I hate to say this. It's called Super Animal Royale, and basically you're just a bunch of little cartoon characters. It's like a top-down kind of game. You're just kind of running around shooting other animals in battle royale style.
Okay.
It's not my fault. Static made me do it.
Okay. Well, that should be interesting. I mean,
That's
got
about it. I bought a PS4 today, and
Yay!
I got Kingdom Hearts the story so far.
There you go.
So I've got
That's for the PS4.
There you go. Nut Crew's here. Show off your nut buttons.
we're the Nut Crew. We are the bro.
We're the OG, OG Ice Bro.
You got Marvin Phil here as well.
Marvin
Oh,
Phil.
God damn.
Phil, we're on the podcast.
This is going to be the highest listened to podcast ever with Marvin Phil.
Do you like it when I get close up on the mic like this?
I like to get close up on the mic as well.
How you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something that you might like to hear. I have cataracts.
Coming soon to you on Game Days. Old Man Phil sings the hits. We still got to record that.
This is back to normal, so I can finally start planning that out. I mean, as some of you will know, holidays where I had little to no voice. It's shown in other game days where I'm talking like the word where I have no voice, and I'm legitimately Old Man filling it.
Without trying.
Yeah, without trying. Oh man, it is a thing. I'm happy to have my voice back, so I can start planning that out. And as always, I take suggestions for songs. I've got a few songs in mind. We've got to plan out a few songs for Old Man Phil and Marv duet and such.
Mm-hmm.
Lost in love and I don't know much.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I mean, if we don't got nothing else for a week, I think it's time to do the smooth transition into the news.
Yes.
News. All right. So
Yes!
first item. So I guess 17th was last Tuesday. It was the official Mortal Kombat 11 reveal event.
Mm-hmm.
So Ed Boon flew out a bunch of influencers on YouTube and Twitch and various other medias, including pro wrestling. Several people from WWE and AEW were there. Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes. The New Day, obviously Austin Creed there for Up Up Down Down. Yep. Various YouTubers like the Yo Video Games crew. I think Gerard was out there. Wooly from Wooly Versus out there for the event to show off the trailer and got some details as to what it's going to look like. Let me try to get the trailer going here. So apparently it's going to, the story mode on this, it's going to be I can't remember the girl's name, but it's like another elder god who's like basically the god of time, who is pissed off at Raiden for altering the timeline so much. Yeah, so the story, I guess, is going to be they're going to try to revert the timeline back to what it originally was. So that means that Armageddon will happen again, and everyone will die again.
Yay, the end of the world.
Don't you forget Dagon and Taven battling to face Blaze to determine the fate of the entire universe.
Yeah, lovely.
Oh, God.
It worked so well the first time.
Shao Kahn's a pre-order character, and interestingly enough, Trisha Helfer is not coming back as Sonya Blade. It is current Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey as the voice of Sonya Blade.
Which is a surprise to me, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, that kind of makes sense in the mainstream focus of things, because then you can cross-promote with WWE and all kinds of other stuff. And...
Right.
I'm sure WWE loves the fact that their Raw Women's Champion is in a rated M for mature and was by far looking to be the goriest Mortal Kombat ever.
Yeah, oh my goodness, yeah, just based on the teaser that was shown, I think a month or two ago. Based on that, and based on what we saw I think it was last Thursday or Tuesday or whenever it was, insanely gory, and it is unreal. Like, I'm watching that, and I'm like everyone at the event, like Maximilian and crew, just reacting to everything. Like, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, this is for sure a day one purchase for me. Like, I am not holding, I'm not holding out like I did for Mortal Kombat X. I was just like, oh, I'll wait till it's on sale, or oh, I'll wait till all the DLC characters are out. I'm like, no, day one purchase, first day game day. It's either going to be me or Patrick that's hosting the game day on that.
Yeah, because and that's the other thing. Then the question becomes, what system do we get it on? Do we get it on PS4? Do we get it on Xbox?
Switch. Because it's coming. It's coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero confirmed for Smash now.
It's got to be a comfortable controller, man. I'm probably gonna say Xbox because it's a large majority of our community, but I have a feeling that there's going to be some hosts out there who are like, you know what, screw it, Xbox and PS4, and
Oh, yeah,
or something.
The
We'll
baser's
find a
going
way
to
to
do
get
that
it
for
covered.
sure. The baser's going to get it on both systems.
But luckily, I don't have to buy it because I know my brother will.
There you go.
Got the. There you go.
Just hear that. Now, from the videos I've been looking at from Maximilian, he does have a little bit of concerns. Apparently, they have slowed down of movement quite a bit, so it's not as frenetic as it was in 9, 10, or even in the Injustice games. That kind of concerns me a little bit because I actually like the flow of combat when it comes to MKX and Injustice. I like the way that they feel, especially for like dashing in and out and that type of movement. But you never know. I mean, they still got 3 months to tweak the game. So
yeah. Well, I kind of want to chime in on that. It is really nice for people who are veterans of fighting games for that fast pace kind of combat and get it to flow really nice and fluently. But for people like myself who couldn't stay up on their own in a fighting game, let alone try and jump and punch somebody in the face, it makes it very difficult to try and learn how to play those games. Anytime you try and play with anybody on online servers, they're usually fighting game veterans. You just get destroyed. Being able to slow it down a bit might be able to get a way to get the rest of those people back into the fighting games a bit, because I noticed that there's not too much of a growing community for it, as much as a lasting kind of community.
One of the other things they had mentioned too is that in the past Mortal Kombat games, and even Injustice, you had 1 meter to burn on either when Injustice it was clashes, and with Mortal Kombat it was you could have a combo breaker, you could do like an EX move, or you could do the X-ray move. Which, by the way, I bet you Jay Hunter of OSW Review is so happy. He's like, I'm going to have so many more X-ray moves for the Wrestling is Awesome segment. So they split it up, so you've got 1 meter for like offense, and then you got another one for defense. You could burn either one that you want to. And I think there's like the kill move, where it's like if your health is down below, then you can like unleash an even more powerful attack.
If I remember correctly, it was 30% of your health. If you have that much left, it triggers the ability to do the fatal blow, which is, I think, the triggers on the controller. And if you miss it, I think one of the good things about this compared to the X-ray and stuff, and this is one of the bonuses, I think, is if you in past games, if you missed with the X-ray or the super attack like in Injustice, that's it. You don't get a second chance. Mm-hmm. But in MK11, from what they showed at the demo, it looks like you miss it, you get a cooldown timer, like of maybe a few seconds, and then you can try, it again. So you're not completely punished for missing it. For those of us that don't, 100% play fighting games. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to do this, and you miss it, and it doesn't go away, you just have to wait a couple seconds, and then.
Exactly. The other thing that they're actually bringing back over from Injustice 2 is like the augmented parts. So you can swap out and customize how your character looks. So you can put a different mask on Scorpion, or a different hood, or armor, or leggings, and I really like that from Injustice 2. How like you can mix mash all these different crazy combinations of items to make Batman or Harley Quinn look completely different. I think at one point there in Injustice 2, there's like Joker actually has a Batman cowl that he can put on. So
yeah,
I'm all for it. I'm all for Injustice 2. That's how you would get you could legitimately get all 4 turtles. Is that you switch out their bandana? And it's like, oh, now you've got Michelangelo instead of Leonardo. So
I know there was some concern about it, but I believe, like Injustice, they'll have an option to turn that off, so you can, when you play online with people, you just play base level.
Oh yeah. And it took us a while for my brother and I to figure that, because like I wanted to play with the costumes, but then it turned out to be because he was on a guest account, he was only level 1, and I had like all these characters that were like maxed out at level 20 with all these gears. So we figured it out where you can just make it cosmetic, and just like if you hit like the bumper and be like, okay, just turn off this, turn off that. Okay, so you can have your cool white looking Batman or my Gal Gadot Wonder Woman, and there would be no After Effects or anything like that. So yeah, so there's going to be another live stream coming up the end of the month. and it'll be launching on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and the Switch on April 23rd. But that is not the only fighting game that's announced to be coming out in April, because on the same day, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid was announced.
Yay!
This is set for PS4, Switch, Xbox One, for April. No date yet. There's a PC launch after the console launches are going to come out. It's a budget title, and it's priced at $20 currently.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
The price point wise, it seems like, so if you haven't downloaded it, which most people I don't expect to, they did have a mobile game kind of similar to I think what this is going to be, which is called Legacy Wars on the mobile devices. It's a fun game. I didn't keep up with it too much because it basically became, hey, pay to unlock all these characters or play the game forever. And I'm like, I've got about 100 other games that I got to get to. I'll check in with you later. So if it's like Legacy War, I mean, there's nowhere, excuse me, there's nowhere to go but up from their last Power Rangers game that released. Johnny and I both know how that game was. Mighty Morphin Power.
Like, I wanted to give people the benefit of the doubt, or I wanted to give that company the benefit of the doubt. It's like, it can't be that bad. And then I played it, and I'm like, yeah, it's that bad. It's super floaty. There's no impact to your hits.
That's why when we did...
there's no online play.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it looks like this is going to be either play a crap load or pay to unlock, because, I mean, they already have a $40 digital collector's edition that gives you Season 1 DLC. So, I mean, you're looking at an extra $20 for a season DLC for no offense, but for Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I'm a diehard Power Rangers fan, but this is kind of keeping me skeptical about it.
Yeah, it's like most fighting games where you would pay base price for a game plus a season pass anyways. So I see your point. It's, for me, it just becomes, do I really want to invest into a Power Rangers game that is basically a glorified mobile game on
console and PC.
Yeah. That's what it boils down to. I might just get it just to see.
I'm totally getting it. It's no contest for me. I'm getting it because I did play Legacy Wars. I enjoyed it for what it was, but the whole time I'm playing it, I'm just like, why aren't you on console? Why can't I play with you? Why can't I have a controller in my hand and input commands instead of swiping back and forth and waiting for something to fill up before I can unleash an attack?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, now the thing that's gonna kill me though is that if this is a port, we're not gonna get the Capcom crossover stuff. So you're not gonna get Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, and Bison in the game, and you're not gonna get Ryu morphed into a Power Ranger in the game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I imagine that that'll be some, maybe some of the season 1 stuff, or maybe it'll be a future season. Because, oh man, when I did Sub Sunday with you, Johnny, Mega Battle was my choice because I hoped it had online co-op because of how bad that game was.
Mm-hmm.
It says something in today's world with even some of the shitty games that come out with, like some of the games we'll get to eventually, that game, and it's way worse than any of the Super Nintendo, Genesis, Sega CD games that came out 20 years ago. Like, I'm talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Fighting Edition, all of those games.
Yeah, like Fighting Edition was awesome. Like, it's like Bandai are very underappreciated back in the Super Nintendo for the fighting games that they made, because Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Fighting Edition and also Japan exclusive on the Super Famicom, Gundam Wing Endless Duel, fantastic games. Like, that was my first exposure to Gundam, actually. And then when I found out that for me in Canada, YTV is to me what Nickelodeon is to you guys in the States. So when I found out that that someone had dubbed Gundam Wing and YTV was getting it, I was like, holy shit, we need to get on this. They did the whole series and then they did the movie. I was like, oh, I need more. And then I watched Gundam Seed and I'm like, ugh.
Yep.
Yeah, it's can I go back and watch Gundam Wing again?
Well, one positive to this, I have to say, and kudos to them for making it happen. It's not only cross-play, it's cross-save with everything except for PS4 because Sony is Sony.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can pick it up on multiple consoles. It's a $20 game. And I imagine if you have the DLC for one, if it's cross-save, hopefully it'll carry over.
Yeah.
Still,
But
If it will do for the mobile stuff, it's like, hey, do you have Legacy Wars? Like, pair this up and get your skins. I don't even remember who I have unlocked for that. I know I have a few of the Mighty Morphin ones and maybe a Super Mega Force one.
yeah,
I
Lord
should download that.
Drakon.
No, I don't.
I stopped
It's one of the
playing
DLC
before
characters.
Lord Draken became a part of the Power Rangers mythos. Q
What's the story
Troy
with
yelling
that?
at
It's
him.
like an alternate universe Tommy who's just
So
evil? If he just never turned good?
I think it's older Tommy. Older Tommy is like taken over by the power of the Green Ranger once again. Still has the powers of the White and forms Lord Drakon and goes after the Grid.
if it's I'm going through my memory because I remember reading the comics about it.
Of course, there's JDF in the trailer right there playing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's playing on Xbox
that was
One.
pretty cool.
Jesus didn't tap.
So my theory,
He couldn't,
my thought
'cause
was
It was like this. You can't tap when there's stuff
Oh,
like
come
that, you know?
on.
is
I was legitimately excited about that though.
yeah.
I would pick it up. It's
Anytime he does
$20.
that, it's like,
It's 20. It's gonna be $20. It's a budget title, so I'm gonna pick it up.
Why not?
yeah. Draken is real quick. Draken is it's an alternate universe where he actually gave into. He didn't read it. He actually gave into it and stayed with her, and so instead of him losing his powers and him having to become the White Ranger, Jason was going to become the White Ranger, but in the process, he broke into the power chamber, killed Jason, and then stole the White Ranger power and combined them and made, the Lord Dragon that we've seen and such.
Yeah.
So what was with the Lord Drakon, the Shattered Grid trailer? Is that the same storyline or is that a different storyline? Because I remember in the trailer, it's like showing like these weird flashbacks of like all the Rangers past, and it's like so much power squandered, and it's obviously an older Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
In that timeline, it's been many years since the original Rangers were around, and he's kind of ruled for a while. So it's kind of like he's going to go to various different timelines or different iterations of the Rangers and either kill them and take their power or have them join him. Essentially, it's blown up since then, and there's a few things that I've missed, but that's the basics of it, I think.
Gotcha.
All right, so going on from fighting games to people fighting with a game. Just like it's been like they should have a thing where it's like it's been X days since something happened in Fallout 76.
It should be.
So the news has been going around that apparently there is a secret dev room in Fallout 76, and I guess this isn't new to any Bethesda game. They have a room dedicated where they go and test stuff out to later put into the game, and the only way to get in there is to hack. But on older games, it was single player, so they didn't really care if you got there, right? It's like, what do you care? You're on a single player, you're just manipulating it for yourself. But since Fallout 76 is online, it's a different story. They're like, we need to ban you. So if they've seen that you've gone into that room, they hold your account hostage. You can't play it anymore. And apparently the only way to release it is you have to write them not a strongly worded letter, I guess. You have to write an essay saying, oh, this is how I got here. Please unban me. I love Bethesda, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know. This hasn't been, I haven't seen anything updated on this yet, but like man, what's your guys' take on this?
I don't know. Part of me wants to say that it's kind of Bethesda's fault for keeping a dev room one in a multiplayer game. I'm not sure how game development works, but they could have made it to where it's unobtainable to players rather than being like, oh, hey, you found the secret stash of stuff we've got for development. Ban.
I just imagine
it's a video game. People have been doing this for years. Did you not see this coming?
Can you imagine Nintendo did this? Like in Link to the Past, you found the Chris Houlihan room, And you're just like, and like the game just stops. And it's just like, okay, you have to call this 800 number and talk to Miyamoto-san and say, how did you find this room? If you tell us, we'll tell you the button combination to unlock the game to continue playing. And in Bethesda's case, it's like, tell us how to do this because we're too dumb to patch this out. So we need to know how you did this so we can patch it out.
And originally, I wanted to think that Fallout 76 was just like they shouldn't have released it. They released it too early. But now with this going on, I'm kind of thinking maybe they were just that incompetent and thought that they could actually put out this game.
Yeah. And I've also heard some rumors about Fallout 76 that would lead a lot of angry consumers to still be angry and also revolt, and that it's possible that Bethesda could make it free to play in the coming months.
I've been hearing that as well.
Which, if that happened, y'all better watch out because Bethesda's going to have a hell of a PR problem on their hands.
Like, I guess the rumor's been going out that physical copies have been kind of disappearing.
Yeah.
Like, you would go to like a Walmart and see like 30 to 40 copies of the game just kind of sitting there. And then you go there and then there's only 3. It's just like, oh, I guess the game's selling well. And they're like, nope. Rumor is that they're being shipped back because they're like, okay, we need to put out this dumpster fire as quickly as possible. We're going to go free to play.
See, this is what happens when you have Andrew WK play your E3 event. He knew who he was.
This is what happens when you use the same goddamn engine since Oblivion. They don't want to build a new engine. You know, there was another company that kept using the same engine and they eventually died. That company was Telltale. They didn't want to update their engine and fix all the issues that had been in existence since whatever. Like, what was their like first adventure game? Was it Strong Bad's Cool Games for Attractive Peoples or Back to the Future? I didn't even know. I think it's like The Walking Dead. It's like, oh, you got this big hit, and then it just slowly starts going downhill with each subsequent release of either a Walking Dead episode or a new game from another company. I think
they're on Netflix now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I saw like Minecraft story mode on Netflix. I was like, how the hell does that work?
Dude, I'm too scared. Oh.
Like, I don't even want to boot it up to try because number one, it's Minecraft story mode.
Patton Oswalt.
Okay, can I just say something about him? I thought that was 2 different people. I thought it's like I heard this. I was like, oh yeah, I went to see Patton Oswalt. I was like, oh, Pat and Oswald. What's their last names? Oswald's his last name. Oh, I thought it was Pat and Oswald.
Pat, buddy, Oswald guy.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
I'm not your guy, friend.
Not your friend, pal.
We're not really like that in Canada, by the way.
I would hope not.
Dude,
what, you mean the top half of your head doesn't hop around whenever you talk?
You just gave me an idea. You know how some of these streamers have like that camera overlay that makes them look like a CG character or a dog?
I already know.
Can we have one that makes you look like a South Park Canadian? You probably would get in a lot of trouble with South Park, but I imagine that I've seen people do streams where their avatar is like an anime character. And, like, when they speak, like, the mouth moves, and when they have different emotions, it has, like, a whole, ah! You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that would be really cool if someone could get on that and do that for a South Park character. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think Rope tried to do it at one point for his for the G1 Wrestling Universe, and everybody was like, no, don't do this, Rope. That does not look good. Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for that.
Yes, same.
Yeah, and I'll like change, like I'll have like a daily or one show a week where I'll do that, and I'll just talk like a typical South Park Canadian. It'd be like, thanks for the follow, buddy.
Do it.
This guy's boring. I'm gonna go eat craft dinner and look for treasure. All right, well that's it. Let's see what happens next week on the continuing adventures of Fallout 76.
Next time on Fallout 76. Will Todd Howard finally retire? Will Todd Howard resign? Stay tuned.
Will Bethesda figure out the mystic powers of the dev room? The own dev room they created. What is wrong with you?
And will Goku ever get off a snake way?
No.
Probably not. All right, so next item up is actually something I announced this week. They have now added a new section to Twitch. There's now this little extra section here called Smaller Communities, where it's like, hey, we're going to rotate and recommend you some smaller streamers.
That's me.
And, oh, look who recommended me. Mariah Muse? I think I'm saying that right now.
I was gonna say, if you said Mariah Mallard, I'm leaving the call. I'm leaving the podcast.
No, I think I've got her blocked on everything, so no worried about that. But yeah, it's a Phil G1 that streaming. She's streaming Overwatch right now. So
What up, G1?
So I got a couple of issues with this. I mean, first off, I'm happy that they're doing this, and there's a place for it on the main page. But I would prefer like an arrow here or an arrow here, so I can cycle through more than 4 or 5 channels.
Right.
Because like I think the only other way I'm going to be able to get through that, or to get anything else, is just to do a refresh, or even like a link. Because like if you go up here for like categories, like here it's got like, I don't know what's recommending me, PUBG, or probably because I had it on Game Attack for some reason. Yeah. But it's like, hey, would you like to watch some PUBG stuff? I'm like, no. Maybe can I get rid of that? Yes, I'm not. Submit feedback. No, I gotta do this later. I'll do this later.
I'm all in support of the small streamer section, which is something they should have done a long time ago. As well as I agree.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've seen people come out and and get offended at the fact they're called a small streamer.
Well,
for me, it's I understand because your numbers aren't as big as others. You know that you might be labeled as such, but you can't consider yourself a small streamer. You're streaming 2 people. You're playing games or dancing or IRL streams or whatever. You know, the fact that you're getting free, you're not a partner. You might not be a partner, and you're getting, Twitch is like, hey, go check out these folks who should get attention, even though we suck sometimes and don't promote the smaller guy as much as we should.
Well, I mean, at least they're making an attempt, unlike, another, creator platform that just screwing over the creators entirely.
YouTube.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Well, it's not YouTube in general, but we'll get there. We're kind of jumping the horse there a bit. Yeah, like I've seen that now. I had kind of an issue with that because like one guy, because I had gotten on this little like tirade, or I got on a little bit of a rant on Twitter a few weeks back, where I was just like, because of the whole ninja thing, the whole Twitch promoting ninja thing. Let me rephrase that, because again, no hate on Ninja, he's kind of innocent in all this, but Twitch is the one that's just like throwing ads in the pre-roll of other streamers saying, hey, don't come watch this guy's New Year's Eve stream, whatever he's got planned. You want to watch Ninja, because we're going to put him in a studio in Times Square to play Fortnite, so go watch him. And I just went on and on about that, and then like I got a couple people replying to me, and there's like, it's like, all right, I watched your thing. Here's the thing: stop putting so many hashtags in your tweets, because that makes you look little. It's like, but I am little. It's like, well, you shouldn't be proud of that. You should like act like you're the biggest thing on there. It's like, but I'm not. It's like, well, you should change your label. So it's like, okay, what label should I use? Like, if it's like, you need, like, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, support small streamers. Okay, hashtag is bad apparently. So give me a hashtag that works. Give me a hashtag that's gonna help me grow. Like support small streamers. I actually went back to that after this announcement. I've been getting a little bit more interaction on Twitter because of it. So I'm gonna go back to using it. But I couldn't get a straight answer from this guy, and I've kind of gone down the rabbit hole on YouTube videos of people that are just like, top 29 tips to improve your Twitch, and it's just all this weird stuff. It's like, look at your analytics. I'm like, okay, I'm looking. That doesn't say, like, if it says play Fortnite, no, I'm not gonna be. I've said it time and time again. I am not a Fortnite streamer. I am not a PUBG streamer. I am not a battle royale streamer. I am not this type of streamer. I'm a video game streamer. I play video games, small, big, everything in between. I don't want to be a trendy streamer, because then at that point I feel like I've sold my soul. I was like, Man, that Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out, but no, I gotta keep playing Fortnite, or else I'm gonna lose all my money. This is why I do only 3 hours a night, maybe less. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the goal is. Here's the thing. You can act like and be confident like the bigger streamers. People want to see that confidence. You just having a good time rather than voting on how many people are in your stream. Admitting you're small has absolutely nothing to do with how well you will do as a streamer. I mean, you can face the facts. You're bringing in, maybe 2-3 people a stream, 10 people a stream, 20 people a stream. It don't matter. It's how you're interacting with those people that you do have. If you say that you're a small streamer, it doesn't mean that you're accepting defeat. It just means that you're accepting what you are, but you're still putting out the good content that brings in those 2, 3, 10, 20 people.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that we're admitting defeat. It's just like, here, I'm acknowledging what I am. I am trying to work better to get up so I don't have to say, oh, I am a small streamer. And there are a few, they don't use the hashtag at all, but they're just like, it's like we're even though we're partnered, we're still smaller streamers. We're not ashamed of that. So you bigger guys are telling the smaller guys not to do that. Like, some of them are like, hey, are you afraid of a little competition? Are you afraid that this thing might trend? Because I've actually noticed, like, since they've put this section in on Twitch, I've noticed an upturn and numbers growing in that hashtag. So it seems to be it's working. As far as other people's numbers, well, I'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait for the next couple of weeks or months, even a year, to see if that actually is going to help anyone.
I'll be there for you. No, yeah, I agree. Like that's one of the things that I love about our community here too on Gamedays as well, is how we are always interacting with with the chat, with the people watching at home, or if they're in the game with us. That's one thing I always love about us here, is that we're always willing to, we always interact with everyone in chat. We always, if you will, instead of just playing the game and all of a sudden having a god complex, like I am better than my community. No one should ever. How dare they address me and think I'll respond?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just.
I mean, that's what I like about this community too, is that we bring each other up, we support each other, we're always in every other streams. And shout out to Card King for running the G1 community Twitter account, who is just a madman at retweeting everyone's when they go live, just giving the likes and retweets and trying to get everyone as they possibly can into everyone's stream. And there's a lot. Ryan Optics of the Nerd Herd channel actually tweeted and tagged in Game Attack, was just like, hey, let's kind of say this, like, were you inspired by Game Attack to actually get into streaming? And what I did done is just like immediate, like a ton of response, a lot of good engagement on there. Speaking of us, like, if you guys notice underneath our webcams, I've got cycling images of where you can find us on our social media, and as well as what platforms we stream on. If you haven't already, give us a follow. And in the chat, every time it rotates out, we have a command called !host, and it has all the hosts streaming platforms on there. So if you ever wanted to like pop in when we're not on a game day, give us a follow. It's greatly appreciated.
I do want to add one thing below my name, my Twitch. It's the Fat Man.
Oh, the Fat Man. Okay.
Fat Man's not me. I am the Fat.
The one.
There's no other.
All right.
I took him down. It is just the and
but
only.
It's correct in chat, and I mean, for crying out loud, the majority of people here right now know where to find me.
Yeah. All right. I will get that fixed. I will get a new image fixed in there.
No. Whenever. Not.
All right. Okay, so kind of a continuation from last week's story of Maximilian Dude getting dropped by his MCM, which I was confirmed was Machinima. Here's the first part of the story. It's a two-part story. So on the 16th, this is on tubefilter.com, Machinima creators just got a letter telling them that they are now part of Fullscreen. So apparently this other company called Otter Media bought out Machinima and basically told them all their people that were still in a contract, we are transferring your contracts over to Fullscreen. So you're going to be working with them now. And here's one that someone just retweeted. Oh, we're going to give you the same. They're like, we're going to put you on the same platform as Ninja. Isn't that great? And they're like, some guy's like, how long is my contract? Can I get out? So we're looking at like hundreds of thousands of contracts, because Machinima was one of the very first multi-channel networks to start saying, hey, don't go through AdSense, come with us, we'll automatically monetize your videos, we're just going to take a little bit off the side. Which, I mean, it's common practice for any MCN, no matter who you go. It all just all depends on how much of a percentage they're going to take. And don't quote me on this, I think Fullscreen, they took 30%, I want to say. I kind of wish I had all my old contracts from Fullscreen so I could pull them up and just be like, okay, here's what they told me, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, that was kind of a kick. No, that's one of the things is that they took all these contracts over, but YouTubers like Tyler Papez and Maximilian Dude, they just straight up dropped them. They're just like, yeah, you've got content ID claims and copyright strikes from videos from like 8 years ago, so we're just going to drop you entirely.
Yeah, that's not. And I mean, just I mean, I don't understand why that has to be a thing. Just say, hey, remove this video, or hey, cut the audio, or hey, do something, rather than just cutting their contract.
And that was the thing in Max's case, is that he did privatize most of the videos, and the ones that he couldn't do any changes with, he just removed completely, and then he would re-edit and upload it with like stuff that isn't going to get claimed. Like, before he got dropped, he actually removed a very popular boss rage. Boss rage is a series where he takes on the final boss of a fighting game on the hardest difficulty, and he did it with Capcom versus SNK 2. And he re-edited it, put new sound effects in that wasn't going to get him claimed, and then all this happened. But he said the good news is that all those videos he had to privatize, he just threw them back up, so all those views just came crawling back. But I guess in the case of Tyler, he had like one video where he sung an Adele song for 15 seconds, and they copyright claimed it.
Yeah, I just don't. The whole copyright ID thing, and here's the thing: if it were it'd be one thing if it were accurate to who was claiming the content in the video. 50% of the time, it's not even the actual companies that should be claiming it.
Exactly. And Max said this in a video about like 7 months ago when he had to privatize those videos. He said, these videos that I made, I have music in them that I purchased from a royalty company that they're his right to use. But another company can just swoop in, buy that library for themselves, and be like, oh, we own the copyrights on these now. Now we're going to go through all these videos that you used our music that wasn't ours 6 months ago. You could no longer make money on that. But with Max's case, he wasn't one of those guys that that cared about the monetization, about that. He understands. He's just like, I don't want to take these videos down for these claims because there's a lot of comments on there. There's a lot of great discussion and engagements on there. I don't want to lose that, and I don't want to lose the views on that. If I lose money on it, so be it. There's tons of other videos I could throw up that will make money.
Right.
That's not his only source of income.
And then there's another YouTuber, Gus Johnson, who had all of his own original music and content in this video, and it's all his. He made it all. He's got all the files on his computer where he created everything, and just some random company he's never heard of went up and claimed it, and YouTube demonetized his video of his 100% original content, music and all.
Wasn't there a content creator who got his stuff claimed by himself? Some robot came in and claimed it for him. It was just like, he's like, okay, YouTube, does this mean I get double the money then?
Yeah, it was. I think doesn't YouTube have an automated thing where he can detect? Because I think what it was, he put a clip of one of his older videos in a new one, and I think it was just like their algorithm that went through and did that. It's weird. The
robots at YouTube are so dumb, because there was a video when I did YouTube, I did you call it it was kind of like the completionist. However, I wasn't really familiar with Gerard's work at that point. But I did a series where I just went over through how to get every achievement in a particular Xbox game. And I did Shadow Complex, and I was telling everyone how to get to level 50. It was the same method that Jack and Jeff did for Achievement Hunter. And I recorded the gameplay all on my own, but they still said that was from that video, and they claimed it. I was like, so I tweeted at Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter. I'm like, yeah, you guys have a claim on a video that I made that I didn't. I stole your method, but I didn't steal your footage. Like, all this shit's mine. Like, I've got proof and time codes and all this. They finally, like, they reversed it after a couple days, but still, it's just like, because the method was exactly the same, they're just like, oh, you must have taken it from them. It's like,
nope.
And this is after the acquisition by Fullscreen, so it's like, hey, my MCN, which owns you, is claiming a video that I did not steal from you, so...
It's just a mess.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it gets even messier, though, because not only did anyone who was under the MCN for Machinima get moved over to Fullscreen, but if you had this video on Machinima's YouTube channel, it gone.
Yep.
All of Machinima's videos were removed without any prior warning. So if you were a fan of great programming such as R.I.P and the Chief, Teenage Pokemon, or The Two Best Friends Play, they're gone.
That's
so
sad,
according to, and I guess Destructoid reached out to Funhouse's Lauren Sontag, because the Funhouse guys used to work for Machinima as part of Inside Gaming, which those videos are gone as well. He just basically said that with Otter Media, it was a division of Warner Brothers, they basically looked at the channel and saw all the copyright strikes and content IDs and just said, we're not claiming, or we're not going to try and get all of these unclaimed, because quite frankly, most of these videos are like 10, 11 years old, so, and nobody's watching them, so we'll just get rid of them. Now, looking on the end of Best Friends, before their eventual breakup a few weeks ago, this is like months before, but Matt, Pat, and Wooly uploaded every single piece of content they have ever created onto Vimeo, so they're still there for everyone to watch. They're not gone. You know,
that's good.
I always joke about Tom having 3 or whatever 8, 9 terabytes of hard drive space with every video ScrewAttack has ever done. But I mean, that could be like that. There could come a time where Fullscreen's like, yeah, your back catalog of everything that's not Death Battle, get rid of that. And there it goes. And the only source we'll have will be Tom. We'll be like, Tom, they took out all the old top 10s and side scrollers and game vaults and clips of the week. We need that.
I mean, even searching for
I got you.
Even searching for the holiday that happened this past week, which I can't do. Huevos, or I know I said that wrong, and I apologize because I don't remember, but it was the ScrewAttack holiday that came up this past week. I just remember seeing, and I remember searching it, and I couldn't, like, I was like, okay, let me search this on the ScrewAttack.com website, which is screwattack.roosterteeth.com at this point. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh, so I can't find it here. Thankfully, they had it all on Verve, so I could go back and watch it and see what the holiday was about.
Yeah. Which is just dance a shitty Wii game, listening to 90s tunes, and if you see a red dot, you get hit in the nuts. Oh, and you got to decorate the cactus.
That's it.
Yeah, that's that holiday, and then Sean Hines ruined it. Well, ended, or like it came to a screeching halt. I want to say that was after the Fullscreen merger, where it's just like, okay, we can't just go randomly hitting each other in the nuts anymore because we have an HR department to report to now. Because that's how Craig would introduce new people. It's just like, hey, this is Nervous Nick. Welcome to ScrewAttack. Oh, sorry. Welcome to ScrewAttack.
Yeah.
that works better. Yeah, there you go.
Well, I mean, I don't see what the issue is. Achievement Hunter does that all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe they have an
all the
agreement. Maybe they have something they signed where it's just like,
maybe because it's not because they're not Achievement Hunter, they can't get away with it.
Or maybe they just don't care.
Yeah, there's probably extenuating circumstances, or there's something written in some contract or something that.
Well, to be fair, Trevor, the one that's supposed to be keeping up on all that, the head of Achievement Hunter now, kind of takes part in it, so maybe that helps.
I guess.
It's like, hey, it's build a desk for Matt. That's a joke, and it's a tiny little shelf in the corner. Oh, let's mark a place on the wall where we can throw balls at his head.
Yeah.
Let's build Jeremy's desk all the way to the ceiling, and then put his chair on a lift,
and then
just have to lift him up.
Let's axe kick Gavin's desk right in half.
Oh,
I don't know how that company makes money when they just keep destroying stuff.
Let's put Jeremy in an airtight barrel and shut the lid.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, that happened in Awu.
I didn't see that.
Somebody shipped him just a giant yellow barrel, and they closed the lid and screwed it on. He's like, "Hey guys, I can't breathe."
Someone almost died. That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it.
Funny. I'll tell you what, that's funny.
Well, that's it. Rest in peace. I mean, this title of the podcast is "Rest in Peace, Machinima." Like, all that stuff is gone.
Yeah, I saw Bruce Green tweet out about it. Tweeted out the image. If you go to Inside Gaming's YouTube page, it's nothing. There's nothing. All the videos have been privated or deleted in this sense. But of course, fans ask, well, is there anything you can do to bring the content back? Because myself, I know, at least myself, I was a fan of Funhouse when they were Inside Gaming. Them and what's now, I guess it's like Internet Today, but it used to be ETC on Machinima. I was fans of those guys, and then Inside Gaming left to become Funhouse, but I still go back and watch all the old Inside Gaming content because there's still some great moments. But I can't do that now because they just deleted all the videos.
Yeah.
Once again, folks, MCNs are not your friends, especially when they're owned by massive corporations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of sad.
I learned that. I learned that. Actually,
awesome creators.
I learned that twice the hard way because I had uploaded everything to Blip before because, as I said before, their CMPs were higher. You can embed the videos, and it was a much easier video player to deal with than YouTube, and they were less stingy on copyrighted material. And then Maker bought them, and then Disney bought Maker, and it's just like, yeah, we don't think this video platform's just go to YouTube. It's like, yeah, but I have to walk on pins and needles at YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And then the algorithm now fucks up everything where you won't get your views if you do this and that and the other thing. All right, well, that's all we got for news stories. It's time for questions. So if you guys have a question you want to ask us, there's usually a thread that we'll create on the Twitter account, at G1_Gamedays. Or you can just use the hashtag ask G1 Gamedays, and we'll pull your questions, and it'll sound something like this. This one comes from Vathantos. She asks, "Why does Brittany have to shut up? Why can't she just be a bro like everyone else?" Yeah, why can't Brittany bro out with the bros?
No comment.
No, you're trying.
Brittany is a bro. It's just the douchebag bro doesn't want to accept that a female bro's now a bro. All
right. One of our hosts, the Red Robe, asks if you could make any game series or genre, Call of Duty and Battle Royale excluded because that's too easy, go away for 3 or 4 years, what would it be? Easy answer, Assassin's Creed. That has to go away. Especially with the last one. It's like a 100-hour game?
Something like that.
And I'm one of those ones too that liked the future stuff, that actually cared what Desmond did. But I tried to marathon the games, and when I got the Revelations, I tapped out on it. So I have no idea what's happening in the future stuff, but apparently no one else cares about that. So yeah, Assassin's Creed's my answer.
And this is an answer that will surprise some people because I play an Electronic Arts sports title, but one game series / genre I think has to go away is the Madden. It's big money maker, but for me, time of 2005 or 2004 when Madden 2005 and ESPN NFL 2K5 came out. It was the height of great football games on, various consoles. And then EA got the exclusive rights for the NFL. Basically, and I know, there'll be people out there that argue this with me, but it's basically every year it comes out, they tweak a few things with the graphics, maybe add a new gameplay feature or change a couple things. But realistically, they could sell you a copy of the game and just update it through online updates consistently, and you wouldn't notice a difference.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm like that with any sports franchise, and especially with 2K9, like the WWE series,
Yes,
even
though that's
space out the DLC so that it doesn't all come out. Like, I think the next DLC is coming out this week with the Rising Star pack with like Leo Rush, Lacey Evans,
Dakota Kai.
Yeah, and I think that's the final pack, and it's just like, okay, you released this back in October. We're now in January, so there's no new content. This is kind of why I liked Injustice 2 so much, is that they spaced out. It was one character every month, and that thing lasted for almost a year.
Yeah.
Because I was telling people, I was like, you know what? Like, I kind of have buyer's remorse purchase with Dragon Ball Fighters. Fantastic game. I barely play it, though. But, like, with Injustice, like, I don't regret my purchase of that at all. Like, I played that thing consistently. And it's because of the fact that they had a plan set up for the DLC. Not to say that Fighters didn't have a plan, but I think Injustice just did it better and did it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Fat Man, what's your genre or game you like to go away?
It's more for the PC people to understand. If you try to browse games on Steam, try and find something nice. One thing that plagues the search results can never get rid of: visual novels.
Oh yes.
Especially the risque anime ones.
But
They're just
if there's no visual
plaguing
novels,
Steam.
how will YouTubers make videos? Well, I guess there's Fortnite.
I
What
don't
do I know?
care.
Okay.
It is rough.
I had a $50 gift card for Steam that one of my coworkers got me for Christmas, and I spent 3 days searching through Steam games because half the ones I looked through were all visual novels. I want them to go away, not just for 3 or 4 years, but forever.
I think the only one I've seen that had like any substance or that did anything different was that Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that had like it had a weird twist to it. Where like, not gonna spoil it for anyone who didn't play it or watch anyone's YouTube playthrough of it, but like I was like looking at it, I was like, what is this? Just a clicky thing, and yeah, I kind of wish that Craig and Bullen played it on Game Attack at one point, and I was hoping that they would continue with it because like everyone's yelling, it's like, no, you gotta keep playing because the thing happens, and then they just kind of gave up on it.
Yeah, that's why you can't just give up on stuff like that, especially story-based games. Even if it's not that great of a story, you never know what's gonna happen.
So up next is Mini Makoto. Says, when is Eric gonna give me back my fucking bumper?
Is that
What
from
you're talking about?
Is that from like an old game day and like Burnout Paradise? Because I saw Best of Game Days from like December 2016 or 2017 where you hosted Burnout Paradise. And I think Eric kept wrecking into her, kept messing her up.
It was either Paradise or Forza.
Right. Okay.
Eric just answered your question in the chat. Never.
So
Well, I forgot to point out. We should say that at the Q&A section, we will be going back and reading the chat there. If you guys have any questions, you can throw it in there as well. Doe, damn it, screw it. Doe has a question. Who would you guys like to see as guest characters in Mortal Kombat 11? Whether it would make sense or not. Probably easiest answer would be Ash from Evil Dead. Like basically their guest characters are always horror characters, It's very
And
rare
this-
that they ever take
Yeah.
it something from another franchise.
And this is where I get angry that The Walking Dead sent Negan to Tekken, because I think Negan would be perfect for Mortal Kombat
Hmm.
in his character. I wrote down a set of characters just because, and I put in parentheses on my official G1 Gamedays is canceled notebook down, and I'm like, mocap, and then in my head I'm like, oh, the creative fighter. Yeah, no, we don't want to see mocap again.
No,
Ugh.
the guy with balls on his face.
Negan would have been perfect. Maybe, man, this one wouldn't make sense, but Agent 47 maybe. Man, it's like a weird crossover.
I could see that.
He falls in the line of Sonya Blade and Stryker.
Pulls out a
Yeah.
syringe, shoves it in your eye.
Luke
His fatality,
Poison donut.
he just runs away, goes into a tower, and snipes your head.
First, he throws a coin at your feet, so you look away from him. Then he runs to the tower and snipes you.
There you go.
What's that?
Fat. What you got? Who you got?
Tommy Wiseau. No.
I didn't hit her. I didn't.
That's how his intro comes in. Imagine the interaction between him and Johnny Cage. It's like, oh hi Mark. Actually, the name's Johnny. No, I am Johnny. Everyone loved me. Maybe I vampire too.
No, he walks in. Heard you were hitting on my daughter. I did not hit her. I did not. No, but in all seriousness,
His fatality, he comes to red trash and then blows his own brains out.
Dang it, that's difficult. I'm trying to think of an actual person to put in there, but now all I have is Tommy Wiseau just going. I did not hit her. I did not hit her.
After the fatality's done, everyone runs over to Johnny. Wake up, Johnny!
Oh,
Is he dead? Yes, he's dead.
Dang. I have no idea. I was trying to think of some like horror movie characters because they did they did Jason Leatherface, and I can't think of anybody.
It's
so?
Jason, Leatherface, Michael, Freddy Krueger in 9, Alien, Predator.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Got it.
Oh, I
The
know
internet-
Arnold's character from why not?
Arnold's character from what?
Is it Alien or Predator? Predator.
Oh, Dutch?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
him.
yeah, and, bring Predator back. And then actually, like, when you select Jax in the Carl Weathers skin, you actually replace Jack's voice with Carl Weathers.
Hmm.
And when he started getting slaughtered in the background, you hear Arnold going, Mac!
I'm right here.
No, wait, sorry, no. Mac's the other dude. Max was the bald one. No, it's Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Dylan.
Makoto in the chat says Pinhead or Ghostface.
Huh.
That could work.
Jigsaw? His fatalities could be pretty interesting.
He just runs over you with a tricycle.
I'll play a game.
Do you want to play a game?
Silent Hero asks, when will Eric give me a free pizza pie? I'm starving. When you drive your ass to North Carolina and ask him for a pizza.
Never again.
No. And our illustrious boss, Woody Man, says, if you were in charge of G1 Gamedays for a month, what would you change?
Hmm.
Where did that Jimbo fella? No. I gotta go with that joke.
Woody would actually stream.
Yeah.
At least for 1 month.
If I was in charge for a month, I would put Woody in my position and be like, Gary, you stream. God,
we all create races for Woody to play, but just Woody, nobody else.
Yeah. We'll go into like spectator mode and watch you try and do it.
Oh.
Okay. I guess Eric decided to bring that up, so I was gonna keep quiet about it, but yeah, Silent, he can't bring you pizza because he don't work in pizza anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Got fired. Why would they fire you? Little.
Well,
Steve.
it's not so much that they didn't fire him; they just told him to stop coming in. 'Cause they didn't fire him; they just stopped putting him on the schedule.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
could,
I remember he said he was extremely part time anyway.
Yeah. Hey, more time for game days.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
More time for
he'll be fine.
minibus.
He'll get back on his feet. And finally, from Eric, who would win in a fight? Shut Up Brittany or Joseph?
Fucking
This
Joseph.
is all
Brittany.
this is all
Brittany
you
all
guys.
the
These
way.
are your guys' creations. So
No,
Brittany.
Joseph is not my damn creation. That is Ricky and the rest of everyone that was a part of that stream. I didn't create Joseph. I just said Joseph. Someone else ran with it. It's now a shirt. It's a character in the G1 Wrestling universe. Joseph showed up during our farming simulator stream last week. But Brittany, we could find out. I mean, for our host who has his own wrestling universe with both characters in it, I'm sure there's a way we can make that work.
Hey. Yeah, no, Brittany all the way. All she's got to do is steal some of her boyfriend's steroids, and it's over.
Nice. Get juiced.
Get eyes. Oh, God, get Joseph. Get eyes, bro.
welcome to the Death Battle cast of the G1 podcast. Jordan,
Who's
which stupid G1 created character will
She
win?
can never be a bro.
Joseph the Curd Farmer or Brittany?
Shut up, Brittany.
He's wasting our boomstick. It's time for a death battle. I think that's it for questions, unless we can just go search the hashtag.
There was one I saw that Lena brought up, which I will mention, which was, is Marv going to join Phil for some songs, for a duet for some songs for the hits? And the answer to that is simply yes. We are planning on doing a Marv and Phil duet, a couple of duets actually, because probably won't be able to do all the singing because I'll be laughing too much while recording it. And two, why would we not do the old men together singing?
Yeah, it only makes sense. I mean, there's just too many opportunities.
Yeah, exactly.
Marv and Phil are some of the great. Simon and Garfunkel, Hall and Oates, Marv and Phil.
Yeah, we do have actually a question that just came in, or not just came in, but it was part of just the hashtag. Big Boss Moss asked, "What's your favorite Minecraft colored sheep?" Pink, because pink is the rarest.
I actually found it the pink sheep.
Yeah, I found it the first hour of playing Xbox One edition of Minecraft.
Yeah,
I was just like, oh, okay. And then I looked up the rarity, and it was like a 1.9% spawn rate. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually kind of rare.
That's why it's in the TOP song. TOP, yeah. TOP, yeah.
Bow down to the power of pimp.
Yeah.
Power of Jesus Christ.
Power of Tim's. Johnny,
Power
you've got
Tim's.
my. I'm affecting you with my flubs.
We're gonna be
Hero,
playing
get on How Do Words
on the
Good G1
PS5.
edition. I'll donate to your Patreon so that you can start editing videos for us.
If I knew how to do it, if I figured out how to edit videos, I would do How Do Words Good G1 Game Days edition.
You don't want to edit. You don't want to edit videos. It's horrible.
I like it. It's fun.
Just imagining a lot of me.
Yeah, come back to me after like 12, 13 years off and on doing it.
I just imagine a
things.
lot of me fucking up
I
words.
think it's fun.
Okay.
I've been doing it since I was 15.
So your
8 years?
life hasn't been ruined by it yet.
No, of course not.
All right. Well, it's time to tell you guys what's coming up this week on the Game Days. Tuesday, Jimbo Socks will be hosting Everybody's Golf on PS4. Possibility that might go on sale that day, so keep an eye on the PlayStation Store.
It's usually on sale for like anywhere from 12 to 19 or 12 to 20. So I would say if it's on sale, get it, because it is a game that, while it hasn't been played in a while, it is a fun game to play. And I've introduced everyone here at the community to slot mode, which randomizes some power ups and some hindrances to those depending on where you are in the standings.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a bring over.
I
think there's a bring over from the old hotspot. Everybody's golf is Hotspots Golf or Hot Shots Golf on PS1, PS2. So I think that's a carryover from that, because I remember that.
It is a fun game. We've played it before. We'll play it again. If you're looking for a time to get it, now's the time. And also, as a side note, we will be using Discord for the chat for that, because PlayStation's chat is Garbo.
Garbo Man?
Garbo Man. So Wednesday, because we have an extra Wednesday, we are not doing a traditional game day. So Mini, calm down in the chat. We, myself, Robe, Jimbo, and Eric will be playing Star Trek Bridge Crew on the PS4. It's also available on PC, but we all have it up for PS4. So yeah, watch us bubble around in space in the Abrams universe, or maybe even the classic universe. Not next gen, because I don't have the DLC yet for that, and from what I hear, that mission is really hard.
Yep. As well, I know
you'll know nothing, but we're gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with so many references and references to episodes. Like, you're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?"
I do have a question. Have you played any of the game yet, Johnny?
I've walked around the little shuttlecraft. I have not made it to the bridge. I know how the controls function. So, like, your sticks are your hands, and move it over.
Let me ask: should I play a little bit of it before?
I think it'd be funnier if we didn't. I think it'd be funnier for us to get on the bridge of the Enterprise and have no fucking idea what to do.
I'm down for that. Yeah. I'm down for comedy's sake.
Yeah. On Friday, it is Trivia Pursuit Live on the Xbox One with Claire Bear. Now, I did see there's a little bit of confusion. This is not like Jackbox. You do need to have a copy of the game to play. So yeah, that'll be all these times are going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern, by the way. Besides, Debaser, who's weird and likes to go live at 10. I don't know why, but most of our game days start at 9 p.m. Eastern. Saturday there'll be 2K19 with me on the Xbox One at 9 p.m. Kind of our hey, let's get some wrestling in before the Floor's Lava pay-per-view on Sunday, aka the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
Sunday there will be no game day, because we do not like to go up against the big four pay-per-views. So anytime the WWE runs Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, or WrestleMania, especially WrestleMania, since it's like 9 goddamn hours long, including the pre-show, we don't go up against that. I might run a stream where we just get in a Discord and yammer on about it, and you can watch me stuff my face and drink while I watch the pay-per-view and react to surprise entrants. Which, pro tip, mute the WWE on Twitter, because they are announcing everyone who's going to be in it. I do not want to know who's going to be in the Royal Rumble. I like being surprised.
I will say, we'll probably one of us, whether it be Johnny or someone, will do some type of stream where we react to it and such via Discord. But we might also do something, and we'll talk. I'll have to mention it in the chat, the DM chat as well. See if Robe wants to try to do the rab.it or whatever that is. See if we want to try that for the Rumble. We can do it private, and then that way we could all be, because one thing about watching is that we're not all at the same point. Some of us might be ahead, some of us might be behind, but using Rabbit, we could all be in the same point at the same time. So we can all react. Not be like, oh, this person, or 3, 2, 1, oh, this person came out. Well, I'm not there yet.
Yeah. All right, so I am probably going to have to do the same thing we did last week, and in order to end this podcast and stream, I have to kill XSplit, because when I go on the news story, it's like, no, we don't want to switch you off. Yeah. So as I prepare that, what are you guys looking forward to coming up? Like, as far as, like, I mean, we went over the game days, but what are you guys excited for? Or what are you guys doing on your respective channels, if anything?
Well, once I get everything set up with my newly received camera, obviously that's one of my goals for this year. And I've mentioned it before in various places. I plan on streaming a lot more on my personal channel, just because I have a bunch of games. One of the games I'm looking forward to is the next iteration of MLB The Show. That'll probably be one of the games that is a regular on my channel when it comes out in a couple of months. As I am a huge baseball aficionado, I'll probably do like some Road to the Show stuff. And I won't do the franchise mode because I'm not great at managing finances, contracts, all that fun stuff. So I'll probably end up doing like a Road to the Show thing with myself as well. And get a excuse me, have to get a better or get a retro capture card so that I can do, because I into the owning a PlayStation 2. And so I've got Def Jam Vendetta for that, Def Jam 5 for New York, and a few other games. I'm like, I think those would be great streams.
Yeah. Yeah, you would, like, I mean, they don't make them anymore, so you'd have to buy them secondhand, but in Elgato, old school HD, and then, like, again, you'll have to order the cable for the retro stuff, but, I mean, there's upscale converters that you can get.
Cable.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, for PlayStation, you can get a component cable. What am I talking? What about you, Fat? What do you got planned?
Nothing immediate, but like I said, if I get this new job, I'll have a lot more time to stream. But I do plan on streaming some Kingdom Hearts now that I have a PlayStation. I am gonna probably doing some more art streams of me just doing some graphic design. People have graphic design stuff, like stuff for Twitch channels, a couple of other things to add to my graphic design portfolio, and possibly music stream. Like, I'll start playing guitar, and
they're all over the place, man. That's a
yep.
lot. Yeah.
There's a lot of things I like to do, and I just don't have the time to do it. So once I have the time, I'm all in.
There you go. And as for myself, shameless self plug, but immediately following this, I'm going to be going live on my channel, and kind of inspired by Grayson a little bit to play an NES game from my childhood that I've never beaten, and no, it's not Ninja Gaiden. It's I'm actually gonna play Blaster Master, see if I can squeeze that out tonight or tomorrow or whatnot. This week's gonna be just chaos for me until Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, because that's next week is all I'm devoting my time to is Kingdom Hearts 3 streams. But yeah, nice. So that's gonna do it for us tonight, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and participating and listening, whether it be here live on Twitch or on YouTube tomorrow. Before we say, well, I gotta come up with a better way of closing out. But before we go, care to say goodnight, gentlemen?
Good night, everybody. Love you long time.
All right.
Sorry, that's
good night, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. I love you. Rubba-lubba-dub-dub.